All right. Hello, hello, hello. Oh shoot, I have to leave this art game. Give me a sec. How do I leave? That's right. All right. Welcome to W244 versus GV77 round 3. If you guys saw, I tried streaming earlier today. I didn't get into the 1v game because I misclicked. So that was a super duper awkward moment, but we're gonna try to make sure that our clicking is on point for this stream for sure. Okay, so should be here. From Bastet. There you go. Boom. Let me change the music up. Yo, what's up, Ritz? Noti gang. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so I have no context behind this match. This is my realm, home realm, obviously. We were eliminated in prelims, so it's going to be interesting to see who the finals are going to be. In this realm, XY Nev, most popular rally, followed by Attila, Nevsky, and then Nevsky Joan. Surprised Call Herald is so high, actually. That's kind of embarrassing. Guan Yu CPO, top Garrison. I'm guessing this is when you cap a structure. Zeno, Nevsky, wait, Zeno YSS, and then it's Nevsky Joan. So field battle, Guan Yu CPO, Nevsky Joan. So a lot of interesting, like the Garrison thing's pretty interesting. Surprised not to see that much Jan up here. I believe in the older realms you'd see more Jad, Jan. Yeah, there you go. Jan YSS. I mean, I guess it's still a relatively new commander. Not everyone invested in them. But I might have missed it, but I don't think I saw Jan's all the way down here at 64 appearances. So but yeah, should be a fun game. I think if I were to guess, I don't know who's gonna win, but I believe, yeah, W244 won first game and then GV77 won the second game, so it's gonna be a pretty interesting one. They've all been pretty close as per usual in the finals. If you're in the finals, you're obviously a really decent team. You know, it's hard to get into the finals. It's hard even to get into the playoffs or even the group stage. So these are both really good teams, obviously, with how far they've come, and they should both be proud of themselves. But this game's gonna determine if they get if they win the championship, which would be great for their alliances, their KD and such. W244, I believe, is in the KVK right now with 1254, 2000, 2K, right? Ritz, it's in your KVK, so good thing that the pass hasn't opened yet, so they should be fully focused on this OL, and then after that they could focus on the KVK and such. All right, I'm ready. I'm actually here. Hopefully I could actually get on the stream this time. It was so awkward. We had like 10 people, and then I was just like trying to click, and then when you actually click the notification, you click watch, and then there's two buttons that pop up. It's YouTube and then like the actual watch, like observer thing. And I clicked YouTube out of like just like I was spamming it, and I clicked YouTube, so then I wasn't able to get in the 1v match in time. So maybe next season we could get whitelisted. I don't know if I'm big enough to request such a thing. All right, we're in. Easy. I guess the 1v match was a lot more hype too. So Shoutcaster Ploto, let's go. I'm trying. Honestly, like I kind of feel like I'm I'm like riding the wave right now because I didn't cast well at all, but the matches have been really fun to cast. People have been watching, like like the GT matches, a lot of people have been watching. So oh wait, give me a sec. I don't even have the guy up. Oh man, I don't have the chibi Ploto. Let me see, does it work? Give me a sec. So it'll be like this, and then it'll be, where is it? It's a bit awkward. Give me a sec. Oh yeah, I have to do it here. And then it'll be this. Done. There you go. Alright, behind the scenes. I love for 2377 to win this. Such an amazing young kingdom with kind and amazing players. Yeah, I think I have my friend was in an OL team in 14-12, and I believe some of the players migrated over to GV77 if I remember correctly. So I mean, I don't know them personally, but a friend of a friend is a friend, you know. So I don't really know anyone from W244 myself, but it should be interesting for sure. Alright. So we have a lot of power cut from GV77. I mean, both of them are going to be really powerful. They probably trained up for this match, pop in the 10%, pop in the 50%, so that you don't have to waste your time healing. Like, oh my gosh, look at that power. Holy crap. But yeah, it's like one of the things in OL is you want to make sure you have as much troops as possible. Oh my goodness. You want to make sure you have as much power, as much troops as possible, because healing is such a tedious thing to do sometimes in the middle of a match. Like, you're out of troops, it's like, oh no, I gotta heal up. But we'll see what happens. I'm expecting 4 obelisk rallies from each side. We'll see how clean each of the openings are. We could tell the structure gain and the structure minutes by zooming out and seeing the times and all of that. So
prepare for battle, governors.
All right,
you fight for Seth.
And there you go, battle has started. Instant instant double C marches. You love to see how fast the marches are coming out, because that's how you know they got the presets loaded. This person might not have the presets loaded, but yeah, the marches are coming out a bit slow from that side. And then if we check the other side, we have a couple runners, we have all of the usual candidates. I feel like the 1254 side was a bit faster. Like, they have a couple marches out faster. I guess we'll see the positioning once they get up to the desert altars and such. Outposts, so they're probably not going to pop hard push either side, because they capped the outposts without popping the skill. I think it's called hard push. We could check the rallies as well, of course, for obelisk rallies, and we actually have an outpost rally coming from the GV77 side. I believe this is the middle outposts. Okay, hard push popped by the 2244 side, and hard push popped by the GV77 side. Okay, so they did both pop hard push, just not for the first outpost, which is fine. Let's check out the timings of the structures. So GV77 actually having a couple seconds ahead, being a couple seconds ahead of their short side obelisk. And then they're also ahead of the bottom obelisk as well, so the long side obelisk. So they should have a couple, what is this? A couple seconds difference of TP between the obelisks. So not too consequential, but it could mean that their reinforcements come out a bit faster. So, because the thing that's really important is you want to TP as fast as possible. When you TP, this is for KVK for anything, but like when you're able to TP, you're able to reinforce faster. The walk times are slower, the reinforcement times are slower, meaning that you have more pressure overall on the field. So definitely some good stuff. Yo, what's up, Nikki? I have some people on the call as well, so they're going to be helping me out with this cast, because I'm not really too knowledgeable about OL myself, but Nikki is actually our OL lead, so I got him on the call. He's muted right now, but I got him on the call just to help out in terms of if I have questions with specific skills, if what they're doing is meta and such, because this is still officially my 3rd ever cast of Osiris League. And it does look like they're rallying with Guan. Interesting. Don't know what that's about, but They rallied with Guan. They have, I guess it's an infantry rally, super fast. Making sure the inf get there as fast as possible. I guess that makes sense actually. And there's a bunch of Guan Yus, and they're actually going to engage outside of the Desert Altar currently. Let's check the other side. It's a similar situation. In fact, I would say the 2244 side has better positioning for the Desert Altar. It doesn't seem that
they're cheesing, look.
Yeah, look, they're cheesing the bottom ob. They're trying to block teleports, is what you're saying?
Yeah, of course, that's what
the 2244 side.
Yeah.
It does look like GV77 was ready for this cheese, though. They do have a lot of marches around the obelisk, swarming down the Nevsky Joan. So at least GV77 is able to get some of their TPs in. So it does not look like this cheese will work, but good attempts by 2244 at least, keeping them honest. And look at the amount of GV77 marches back at the obelisk. It would make you question that, like, maybe 2244 should have open field presence around this Desert Altar, just due to the fact, like, look how many marches are down here. This is like 10-15 marches that should be at the Desert Altar but are back at the obelisk, so they should be able to pop up and at least do some damage, at least contest the Desert Altar first cap. Maybe they probably won't get first cap, but at least stall it out, and see if they're able to stall that out. And in the other Desert Obelisk, and the other obelisk, in the other Desert Altar, it looks like 2044 got that no problem. GV77 also got their Desert Altar first cap, although it does look like 2044 is swarming it down. There is a Zeno in there, so it's going to be pretty tough, especially if the open field from where'd the marches go? But they do have some marches in outside lane, so it does look like they're gonna be pretty good. I'm not exactly sure what this guy's doing, but oh wow, wait, the garrison popped. Why is there an Ethelfled? Why is there a Guan Yu garrison in the Desert Altar? It looks like they're panicking trying to find the garrison right now. Not exactly sure what happened to the Zeno. I don't think it got popped, but it does look like 2244 is at least going to be able to stall the Desert Altar cap, which is pretty big, but I don't think they're...
Oh, it dropped.
Yeah, it did drop. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold it for first cap points, but at least it's going to, deny them around like 300 points-ish early in the game. So big stuff by 2244 in that situation. Kind of surprised that they're able to cap it. Look how many marches are in GV77. Like, look how many marches were there, like swarming it down. So I'm really surprised as to how they were able to contest that Desert Altar. But it does look like GV77 has the first rotation to mid. 5 minutes 30 seconds. We have the first couple of marches from the bottom lane. It looks like the top lane's actually getting heavily contested in the Shrine of War. So that is why there are no rotations coming from there. Martin's here and Nick's here. Yo, what's up, Nick? Oh my god, that guy literally had like so many things to say. And there you go. I'm surprised that they went over so quick. I don't know. I would probably clear the field around the Desert Altar first and then went to the mid, because the fact that this structure hasn't been capped, there's still first points to be had. So if 2244 is able to hold this and is actually able to cap this, there is going to be first occupation points for them to claim. So very surprising stuff from GV44 as Tax gets popped in Arcady. But they do have mid positioning. They do have that going for them, so it'll be pretty I don't know if 2044 should even contest this, to be honest. It does seem a lot like really discombobulated compared to the match earlier today, the 1v blackjack match. So like there's just marches everywhere right now. But as I'm saying that, there are a lot of marches coming from the bottom side of 2244. And yeah, all the marches are just trickling in. GV definitely has the positioning so far with 3 minutes 40 seconds though. 2244 might be able to push in, especially with the amount of marches just walking through. Oh, you hate to see you hate to see AFKs in an Ark of Osiris match, but yeah, 30 versus 30. Everything is good in that department. Yeah, so it looks like 2244 isn't currently balled up anywhere. It looks like they're gonna ball up in this spot over here. Probably if I was them, I'd like to take a little bit of a more aggressive approach, like around where this XY is for sure, and then just back off if they're engaging and they have numbers. But yeah, it does look like GV77 have the advantage so far in terms of numbers, but 2244 did cap the Sky Altar, so they're denying some points elsewhere. They also capped the Shrine of Life, so it does look like even though they do not have mid positioning, they're kind of doing this thing where they have mid presence, but they're also pushing structures with some open field marches. So like kind of like a hybrid approach from the W244 folks. You think first arc is going to go to 2044. Hope they gonna be as active during KVK. Yeah, man. I'm hoping that your past fight's gonna be super good, but we'll see. We'll have to see for sure. First mid fight, we have 2 minutes until mid. If we zoom out, it looks like it's rather even with the murder ball, but there are a lot more GV77 marches trickling in. So it looks like GV77 for sure has a priority in terms of this mid fight. And if they cap the Shrine of War, like these extra percentages, the 5% defense, 5% attack is for sure going to be relevant. So yeah. So Nikki, if you were 2244, what would you do in this situation? Like you're outpositioned mid, you're outnumbered mid. Arc is in a minute. Like what would your call be here?
I would have gone in already, just because I know that a bunch of their marches rotated at 6 minute 30 without refreshing. They have a bunch of marches in there that are already yellow.
That's true. There are a couple at least. There's some wounded marches for sure.
Because all those early rotators from their own altar, they didn't refresh yet. Even though they have more marches there, there's some that are already low.
Lambo, short 3 players. We just played Blackpink. Sheesh, and regular Arc. It was fun though. Man, Blackpink is for sure a solid team. Yo, you must have high matchmaking to go against them. But there you go. We got 2044 popping war drums. Mystical formation response, mystical formation in both sides, and then war drums. So war drums, mystical formations for both sides. Honestly, would you save skills here if you're 2244? Because you know you're gonna lose this mid fight. There's no way you're gonna win this. No, like pop like one skill to like stay relevant, I guess. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough. Although there are some marches slipping through the cracks, hitting the arc carriers.
Oh, they don't have actual arc carriers. They only have half marches. There's no CCs. They targeted the wrong march. If they targeted the Saladin, first, the arc actually would have been pulled towards the 2044 side. But since they targeted the XY, and the XY had a lower timer, had a higher timer compared to the Saladin was able to outpull the 2044 march. So although it does look like 2244 is pulling it towards their side, If we check the sad faces though, 2044 is yeah, they have a lot more marches dying in this mid fight, as expected, because they were outnumbered mid, they were outnumbered and outpositioned as well. So it does look like GV77 is gonna have arc control. They're gonna be able to dictate the pace of the match and see if they're actually gonna want a 3-out arc game or 2-arc game. If they're gonna instantly cap it and, you know, they trust their arc, their mid game, or if they're gonna try to hold it for as long as possible and trust their structure game. What do you think GV77 is gonna do, Nikki?
Honestly, it's hard to tell at this point because a lot of GV77 structures have been going down. So, structure game wise, it's 50-50.
It's 50-50.
Yeah, I can't give a precise prediction.
Have you watched any of these people play before? Like GV77, W244? I haven't.
GV77, but 244 I have.
Oh, you've watched 244. Okay. What would you rate them? I guess overall, like including like the 1Vs, including like the GTs. Let's say like 1V GT is like a 10. What would you rate them, like W244 out of 10?
8 or 9.
8 or 9. So they're a solid team. Okay.
They're a solid team.
I mean, they made it to the final, so they're for sure solid. Yeah. But yeah, it looks like they are. Yeah, honestly, in that situation, they were just so outpositioned. Probably would have pressured the structure game more. No. Like, you know, you're outpositioned. You're I don't know what you do in that situation, because that's
pushing our carriers.
Yeah, they are. That's the thing that's tough about having a set plan. If things don't go according to plan, it's just gonna be like really tough to transition from one plan to the next, right? Because it's like, all right, we have the set plan. We're gonna have, when we go mid at this time, we fight at that time. But if you're gonna be outpositioned, if you're gonna be outnumbered, I don't know if it's worth popping the exact same skills as GV77. But we'll have to see how 2244 recovers from this. The structures are currently even. If you check the point game, it's literally dead even currently in terms of point gain. There is a 1.3k lead for 2244, but that should flip to GV77 side when arcs cap. What is the point? How much points do you get for first cap again for arc?
I think it's what, 3,000?
2k?
Or 2k, it's somewhere in that area.
Okay, so like yeah, so the points should even out. It should flip actually, so where GV77 should have the advantage for points.
So going back to that mid fight,
them not focusing structures took them from heavy up to down bad. Yeah, for real. First arc is 3.5, really? Wow, that's a lot of points. As our organizers always say, the tighter the ball, the easier the mid. That's true. And like their mid rotation was super. It looked super. Like the timing was off. I don't know.
From which side?
Like the GV77 side, in my opinion, rotated too fast. But at the same time, W244 didn't punish. Like they like, all right, we're gonna rotate with you. We're gonna hold hands with you while we wait for this arc to spawn. So in that case, I would probably just like pressure like their altars, try to at least get some point gain back from that. Especially the desert altar. If you're able to pressure the desert altar and then rotate from behind, cut off the reinforcements that are rotating late, I think that would have been a better case scenario. But as I say that, there is a rally on the desert altar. It is Nevsky Attila by the garrison. Interesting choice of commanders. What do you think about Nevsky Attila? I've actually seen this from W244 here, but also from 1V and Blackjack, as well as I think GT used it. Why Nevsky Attila, do you think, Nikki?
I think it's skill tree.
Skill tree? Or do you
Yeah,
think
I
it's
think
just so that they could like, all right, if we have open field, we'll go Nevsky, Joan. But if we don't have open field, it'll be Nevsky Attila type of thing. So you still have the same equipment on the commanders. You still have the equipment on the primary. It's just you switch to secondary, like something like that. But yeah, the structure does look like it's going rather low. We'll have to see if these GV77 players do march swap the garrisons. If you guys don't know, march swapping is you could only have one march in a structure at a time. So when that march inside the structure gets low and you have a march outside, you could swap the marches. You know, run that low march inside the structure into an enemy troop so that it's sad face and gets home as fast as possible. And then that fresh march could go in, keeping the garrison topped off. So, but yeah, super solid stuff. Super solid hold by GV77. And honestly, like, it's gonna be pretty tough for this upcoming mid fight is gonna determine a lot to, like, the second and last mid fight is gonna determine a lot as to who wins the match. It does look like a W244 is going to cap the Shrine of Life, so that is at least going to be in their favor. And they are going to be able to hold their own Sky Altar. So it does look like at least 2244 is on the offensive. They are setting the rallies. They are setting the pace in terms of the structure game. But GV77 is setting the pace in terms of... Interesting. I don't think anything's going to come of this, but... yeah, GV77 set the pace for the Arc game. Okay, so luckily the 2244, okay, 2244 actually making them cap the Arc early. Interesting. I wonder if that's gonna have any repercussions in terms of having to contest for a third Arc. Because the next arc is gonna spawn in 8 minutes, so that means that the arc game is gonna change up a little bit due to that contest that 2244 was able to do on the arc carrier. It looks like this Desert Altar is gonna fall, but they did trade it for the Sky Altar on the 2244 side. I might have spoken too soon though, because this Jad is holding on for dear life. They're filling this Desert Altar so well right now in terms of the GV77 side. It is topped off as much as possible. These marches are probably just walking in and walking straight into the structure, trying to keep it alive for as long as possible, but the garrison did get knocked off. It is Nevsky garrison currently inside of the Desert Altar, so it should drop in the matter of moments. Desert Altar? This Nevsky is actually holding off for so long. It's actually crazy how this Nevsky's just holding on with this like 12 March Swarm or whatever. Wow, this Desert Altar is actually still holding. Is it gonna drop? Is it gonna drop? And there you go, it finally dropped. But great hold by GV77, at least able to squeak out around 150 to 300 points from that. So they're able to delay it enough for their marches to come out, and they should be able to recapture this Desert Altar with relative ease. Although there is a Jad in there. There is a Jad, it looks like Jad Jan garrison inside of the Desert Altar currently. Oh, but it's melting currently. It is currently melting, and it's down. So GV77 holding on to their Desert Altar. They did lose it for a little bit, but they were able to recap it super fast. And in the meantime, the Sky Altar was recaptured by 2244. So they were keeping themselves busy there. And it does look like GV77 again rotating super early. But look, 2244 is like, all right, if you're gonna rotate early, we're gonna rotate earlier. They have currently 7 marches at the temple. They are engaging this Ethelfled early, and yeah, Ethelfled's running away. So
Let's check the structures actually to see. Sky Altar is fine. Shrine of War is fine. So it does look like all of the... Ooh. So it does look like this player is trying to reset their marches. But there is Charles Martel inside of the obelisk. I don't expect that to come of anything, but interesting, interesting. Yeah. So it does look like GV77 have a lot more marches, coming mid. So even though 2044 had the first marches, GV77 definitely have more marches coming in earlier. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see, like, what would you do if you were GV77 here? You have the numbers advantage, no? Wouldn't you push into this murder ball mid right now, or what? Like,
I 100% would.
You 100% would, right?
Skill. Yeah, popping one skill.
You'd pop one skill. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think you could just go into dry. Like, look at the numbers of. Although I think it might be a bit too late. There are a lot of 2044 marches, and I guess GV77 knows that this game depends on this arc. So they're gonna be really, really careful. Really. Oh.
Oh, I think he disconnected.
That is unfortunate. Oh my goodness.
Yep. Oh wait, but he's getting a dragon.
Free yellow for just a free yellowed march for no reason.
That march discipline from 244 side.
For sure. I thought that was like a bait, like they're trying to pull the marches back, but I guess that did not work. But look at 2244. They have a lot of people streaming in now. So does so does 77. I'm not exactly what is it, 2377? I'm not exactly sure what KD they're from, but GV77 they are taking the right side. 2244 having the positioning advantage on the left side, actually touching temple. So as you can tell, there's literally no rallies going on right now. There's no rallies from either side except for one Shrine of War rally from the GV77 side actually. But instead of that, no rallies. So it is full commitment. Literally even the rally leaders are coming mid. What do you think of that? What do you think of that, Nikki? Like, wouldn't you still just run rallies to keep the structures honest, or what? You think it's just like, all right, just send full mid?
I definitely keep still rallying the interlane structures, as well as actually, I'd keep rallying the altars.
The altars. Okay.
Yeah.
So how about the interlane shrine? Like, would you rally the interlane shrine, or?
So the only structure I would rally is the outer lane shrine, but the other three are fair game.
Okay. So you wouldn't rally the outer lane shrine, but both the altars and the inner lane shrine, you would definitely think about rallying. At least having it like topped off and all kind of stuff. Because in terms of the point game, it is even, but it's gonna be pretty tough. Like this, they literally both of them are not counterplaying each other at all. They're just going head on, face to face, 1v1. It's like, all right, if you want to go mid, we're going mid as well. So but yes, whoever wins this mid fight has priority within the game for sure. Because it is only a 200-point differential currently. Oh wow, wait, what? that march glitched for me. It also glitched for GV77. So both murder balls are they're pretty much like touching. Look at that. They're like literally just like touching right now. That's insane. And they are looking like a ball. So they're just waiting on skills, I guess, just waiting for everyone to come in. There are more I think there's more 2044 people here than GV77, but I might be mistaken. And they are going in GV77, although there are some AFKs. Interesting that GV77 took the offensive, seeing, I guess, that there is more marches coming in from the 2244 side.
Oh, they're going for the 10-point. 100 skills for it.
Wait, what skills were popped? War drums and mystical? Is that what I saw?
So for the 77 side, they pop Heaven's Grace, War drums and mystical, so 10 points. And then the 44 side pop to the death and war gems, I believe.
Interesting. So full commit from the GV77 side in terms of their bar, making sure that they got it. The arc did spawn, well, will spawn in 10 seconds. It does look like, in terms of positioning, 2244 does have the positioning. In terms of who's winning, I can't really tell.
Yeah.
It is looking super even. I don't even see any marches dead right now.
So Arc's been taken on the 44 side. That's the temple.
Yeah, we'll have to see who gets the first pull. Whoever gets the first pull definitely has the advantage in terms of this arc. It looks like 2244 has the first pull. The arc carrier is walking, is pulling, is getting it towards their side slowly but surely, but it did get dropped. So we'll have to see if this Joan will... Oh my goodness. It looks like 2244 is losing this mid-fight by the amount of sad faces coming out. The sad face ratio is definitely for GV77 in terms of making the 2244 marches die. So that indicates to me that GV77 is winning this mid-fight, is going to win this arc. But although 2244 did get first pull, so the arc is on their side. But not anymore. There you go. GV77 able to win a second mid-fight in a row. Able to pull out with this arc, and with that, maybe even pull out with the game. Although, if they fully hold this arc, there is going to be 13 minutes left. So, isn't that like 8 minutes for arc to spawn, 5 minutes to contest the arc? So it's going to be a super fast mid-fight, but it does look like GV77 with the arc, with the game in their hands. So yeah,
something to keep in mind here is on the 77 side they still have to the death available, and the 44 side doesn't. So even if they do take another mid fight, they do have a skill advantage.
Yeah, GV77, that early rotations, I guess that's the way to go in this game, because they rotated early both arcs, so they got both arcs, and their structure, they actually won the structure game too. If you check the points per minute, it is 360 to 590. So there was a structure capped. It was the Shrine of War. Shrine of War was capped during that mid fight, and the Desert Altar as well. So Shrine of War, Desert Altar capped. As you said, Nikki, the inner structures were being contested while this mid fight was happening. And 2244 was winning before that mid fight. Now, even without this arc, GV77 was able to like lessen the gap between the teams. So it's looking like a super close match outside of this arc. So I wonder what the plan's gonna be. Do you think there's gonna be a sneak cap, or do you think they're too big brain to even let that happen?
I think they're too big brains to even let that happen.
Yeah, there's no way, right? They're walking towards the cities. As soon as you get into the city radius, there's no excuse to lose an arc, because you could just walk into the city for free, get the arc cap without any repercussions. So time to delay arc then, for sure. 77 saves to the death as well. That's crazy, bro. WTF is my luck. Yo, Panther. Wait, I don't know, Panther. Whoever you bet on is not pulling through, man. All right, it does look like they are hitting this arc carrier. I wonder if they're gonna panic or what, but it does look like they have it under control. I'm not exactly sure why 2244 is trying to tap the arc. It's just gonna reset the timer. Wouldn't you want the timer to be as long as possible?
Yeah,
because they just reset the timer. So now arc for sure. There's not gonna be a third arc. There's not going to be a third arc for sure. Reason being is, so there's 15 minutes for the arc to disappear, and there's 25 minutes left in the game. So as soon as they cap the arc, there's around like 3 minutes, because it takes 8 minutes. It takes 8 minutes for the arc to spawn, so there'd be like 2 minutes left in the game. And I don't think that's going to be enough time for either team to cap the arc. So, yeah,
2244 has to step up the structure game, or else GV77 will win and be the champions of Bastet. That's crazy. This is our region. This is our region, Nikki. This is our realm. So these are gonna be the teams that we're gonna be versing in the future, most probably, right? Right, Nikki? That's how it works, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Next one with us.
But yeah, it does look like this Gecko is still. Honestly, if I was row of HP, I'd let them tap the arc again. Like, just do it again. Yeah, exactly. Question mark him. I'd let the arc carrier die, let them tap the arc and just instantly kill it, and then just keep resetting the timer. You know, keep resetting that timer. If they're gonna oblige and just, like, you know, contest that arc, might as well. They better be farming and getting provisions on the 2244 side. Hopefully. Yo, what's up, Hong? How you doing, man? You can go into the caravan and arc will drop. Time will be reset. It actually doesn't work like that anymore. When you get into the caravan and arc is dropped, for the timer to reset, Nick, it has to be switch hands. Has to switch sides.
Yeah, switch sides.
Because we tried the caravan thing, actually, like with our past arc game. So we had an arc game in 14 UTC. So, but yeah, it doesn't reset unless the opponents actually tap the arc. Or else that'd be broken. You could just delay arc for the whole game with that strat. So I guess that makes sense in that case. Okay, so Sky Altar was taken by 2244. They do also have a Zeno in there, so they might be able to not one take away points, but to also gain their own points from the Sky Altar. They definitely should be aiming to get as many altars as possible. What I saw from the GT match, actually, the 60 GT, they just kept they just ran all their marches to the structure and then started swarming with the Henry Nebu, making sure that the Desert Altar was pressured even when the Shrine of War was being pressured. So like, they're like, screw the shrines, just go for the altars. We need as many altars as possible, and they were actually able to hold 3-4 altars throughout the game, resulting in their win last week. So interesting how there is a lot more open field. I'd say there's a lot more open field fighting in these newer realms compared to the older realms. If you see the what do you call it, the 1v game versus Blackjack, you see all the fightings happen around structures. You see the fighting happen around the shrine. You see the fights happening around the altars, especially. But then in these newer realms, they tend to be in the midpoints of the structures. So it's like they have a line of scrimmage, I guess, where it's like, all right, we have to kill whoever's in our way so that we can get to X, Y, and Z. Really lame. Yeah, they changed it, man. It would have been sick, though. Would have been sick. But that would just make the first arc so, like, powerful, you know? And we got 2244, Insatiable Desire popped. So it does look like they're gathering. So Nikki, how does Insatiable Desire work again? Like, what does it do?
I think it increases your gathering speed for each node.
Your gathering speed? I thought it was
like the node completion time. That's what it was.
It was what?
It's not only technically it is gathering speed, but it's like it just makes you gather the node faster.
Oh, okay. So they are gathering it up in the 2244 side. They will need to they'll need a god provisioner. They'll need like around, how many points would they be down? Around like 2-3k for this arc? So they need to make that up in terms of provisions, and that's provision difference. I'm sure GV77 is provisioning themselves as well, so it's gonna be pretty tough. Yeah, they do have some provisioners. So yeah, GV77 is doing their due diligence, trying to get as many points as possible. But yeah. Blood, this is in our OLVC. But yeah. So wow. Yeah. GV77 just pushing out the open field, they're just able to, yeah, just take the pressure out of their desert altar because they just have so much open field presence with this. It's really crazy that I think I saw like 2244 marches walking back. So there's a 1v1 going on over here with a Boudica and Nevsky. Stick effect players gotta leave the node, then re-enter for buffs to play. And yeah, I remember Bulba saying something like that, where you have to kind of like make sure that your gatherer leaves the node and pops back in. Hopefully the players from 2244 know that. But yeah, we're taking notes, Nikki. We're taking notes for next season. When is the next OL season anyways, you know?
It's next August.
Next August?
Yeah.
No way it's next August, bro.
It is, bro. We're not even in grand finals yet. This is grand finals.
Oh my goodness, it's gonna be that long? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, well, next August, you already know. But yeah, did you see the OL changes that they're talking about? Like, what do you think about it?
I'll be honest, I haven't looked at it yet. But I mean, I think I saw like a video somewhere and it looks good.
There was I was in a pod with oh wait. They capped the obelisk. And there you go, they capped the arc. Okay. So GV77 did cap the arc.
At 10 minutes, arc is going.
Yeah, 10 minutes. Like barb spawning, etc. I hope it's not gonna include more RNG in the game. That's what I hate. Like, you know, there's crit chance in League of Legends and such, but you definitely don't want to make sure that if there's RNG, don't let it what do you call it?